Everyone trying to improve their gameplay knows aim is a huge component of being a good player, but what if I told you aim is not what's holding you back? It's actually something much easier to master and far more overlooked than that unreachable level of aim you've been chasing for so long. It's your movement and positioning. A player's ability to move efficiently around the map and in-game terrain is overlooked because it's not a flashy aspect of one's gameplay that leaves viewers in awe. It's just a piece of professional players' gameplay that enables them to make flashy plays and show off with such a high success rate. Without good movement and positioning, good aim can only carry you so far. So now you might be wondering, what is good movement and what does it look like? Well, let's look at this example where we make an aggressive play. Utilizing the movement items in the game, we can push this team with ease, slide and jump as we retreat, making it harder to hit us, and then shockwave and pair it with the grapple blade to reposition ourselves quickly on the high ground and hold them as we are pushed out by the storm. In many instances, you will notice about 90% or more of the player base moves in a clunky fashion. They just stand there and shoot their guns until they might win or lose the gunfight. Yes, having good aim will help you win most of your gunfights, but what about when the other player starts moving around? How do you outplay them? The answer is improving your own movement. You have to incorporate jumping, sliding, mantling, jiggle peeking, and other techniques into your gameplay to get that needed edge over your opponents. Jumping and sliding are the easiest to master, you just have to use them at the appropriate time. For general movement, slide jumping down hills is one of the easiest things to add to your gameplay that can greatly benefit your movement around the map. Sliding is also good for both pushing and running to cover, especially when paired with jumping while pushing an enemy. When you slide, your character's body moves down and then upwards, throwing an enemy's aim off completely unless they have a high level of aim. Jumping, generally speaking, is something you want to pair with tactical sprint to get the max height and movement velocity, further increasing the difficulty of someone's ability to shoot you accurately. Mantling is a super underrated movement and is incredibly powerful once you master it, as it can oftentimes be the deciding factor in running away from a fight gone wrong. Mantling, when paired with a sprinting jump, can also enable you to get to different places on the map that your enemies may not expect, or allow you to get heals and chests most players will not know how to get. There's all sorts of spots on the map that you can parkour to gain the upper hand on your opponents. Mantling timing and decision making is also critical when pushing someone above you. You have to make sure they aren't holding the ledge, waiting for you to mantle because of the vulnerable state you are in during the animation. So just keep that in mind when you're pushing someone and trying to mantle up onto them. You have to make sure that they're reloading or distracted in some sort of way, or else you're putting yourself at a huge disadvantage in that scenario. Jiggle peeking is a large part of what makes high-level players so successful. It gives them the upper hand by peeking and getting some shots in while bobbing in and out of cover, giving the enemy almost no room for error. Most commonly used in shotgun and sniper battles, you will see high-level players using this technique to bait out shots from other enemy snipers, or take a shotgun shot and re-peek it once the fire rate cooldown is over for another shot. In the current Chapter 5 Season 1 meta, I see this all the time where lower level players just peek and stand there for so long, making it easier to headshot them. But the higher level players will shoot and duck back to cover immediately, which is much harder to shoot. Oftentimes the higher level fights just turn into pre-fire fights where you can only hit them if they peek right after you shoot. Just be very mindful how fast or slow you are when peeking an enemy. Most people don't realize how much exposure they have to the enemy and just continuously sit in the open with one continuous peek, which leads to very inconsistent gunfight outcomes. If you guys learned anything today, I would really appreciate if you guys subscribed. I'll be uploading some more educational content in the future, go further in depth on all of these techniques and how I approach my gunfights to win most of my games. Thanks for watching.